According to a survey conducted by Alexander Forbes, millennials are drowning in debt as a result of COVID-19. The survey focused on millennials who are defaulting on their loans. To discuss this in more detail, we're joined now by John Anderson. He's head of investment products at Alexander Forbes. John, thank you so much for your time. It seems like that millennial age group is really struggling financially. Where's the shift been during the pandemic?
Good morning and thanks. So every year we do a survey essentially looking at retirement fund members that are formally employed. And we look at, are they on track for retirement? But this year we specifically also looked at the indebtedness status. And what we found is that for individuals between 18 and 35 years, so classified as the early millennials, of the debt that they have, 14% is in arrears. And that has been increasing. So obviously, during the pandemic and through lockdown, we definitely saw, employers, going through retrenchment exercises. The majority of that actually happened with younger individuals, unfortunately. So adding to the unemployment, the youth unemployment in South Africa. So younger individuals, millennials in particular, under financial pressure. And also because they have lower salaries, and the cost of living, etc., is increasing. Millennials under pressure, and as a result, taking out additional loans, and that there's a whole knock-on effect, on this.
There have definitely been things that are against the millennials, the pandemic, the retrenchment, like you say. But is any of this self-inflicted from bad saving patterns, bad spending patterns?
Yes, so look, I mean, it definitely starts from a young age. And I mean, if you have a look at the types of debt that individuals have, there's debt that is actually good, that it's really necessary in your early years, for example, for housing, transport, etc. But there's a lot of unsecured debt. There's a lot of high cost debt. And that's really, one must question the need for all of that on top of everything else. And we're definitely seeing, especially for males in particular, have the most indebtedness statistics. So it generally looks like females on average are a bit more frugal with finances, but where it starts is basic discipline. Draw up a budget. Make sure you rather save for something rather than take it on high cost debt to finance short-term needs, and rather focus your debt on assets like a house, a car, and make sure you keep those for long periods of time instead of having a new car, for example, every year. So just basic financial discipline is a big part of it. It's not just salaries. It's actually starting from good basic principles.
With this age group struggling to pay off debt, how has retirement saving been hit?
So retirement savings, the majority of younger individuals actually, when they leave their job, they take majority of the savings that they've built up in cash. So close to 85+% of the money saved up is taken in cash. Some of it is because of what we've just talked about, which is, the indebtedness, but a large portion is explained by something else. And that is, individuals' apathy. At a young age, they actually think that a small balance, it's not really meaningful, so it's not really worthwhile continuing to save it. I'll start again at my new employer. The reality is that little bit of savings that you had in your first few years contributes to a large portion of your savings at retirement. So what we're seeing is that the impact in 30 years is going to be quite significant unless people start preserving a lot sooner. And that's why we also think that things like National Treasury's two-bucket system that they're putting forward, and we'll see more in the budget speech, is actually a very good initiative to try and balance short-term needs with long-term savings. And we look forward to seeing more of that in November.
All right, John, thank you so much for your time. John Anderson, the head of investment products at Alexander Forbes.